Another cushion for your back, darling?
No, thanks.
Quite sure?
Quite sure, thanks.
I can easily get it for you.
Oh, very well.
That's right. You must be comfortable. Now, are you sure that's all right?
Quite all right, thank you.
Sure, darling. Anything else you want, I can get it for you. At once. A rug over your knees, perhaps?
No, thank you, Eustacia.
You wouldn't like a hot water bottle?
No, thank you, Eustacia.
You've only got to say you know. Now, shall we talk, or would you like me to read to you?
I think read. No! I mean, talk! No! Read to me.
It's for you to say, darling.
Read to me, Eustacia.
We'll go on from where we left off. We didn't get very far. I marked the place. Yes, here we are. The sandy desert of Arabia and Africa. 4. And then there's a little footnote at the bottom. That's how I remember it. Tacit, period, annal, period, 1, period, little I, Dion Cassius 1, period, LVI, period, P, period, 833. And the speech of Augustus himself. That doesn't seem to mean much. It receives great light from the learned notes of his French translator, M. Spanheim. Well, that's a good thing. Spanheim. Sounds a bit more German, doesn't it? Now, are you sure you're quite comfortable, dear?
Yes, thank you, Eustacia.
Then I'll begin. Happily for the repose of mankind, the moderate system recommended by the wisdom of Augustus was adopted by the fears and vices of his immediate successors. The military fame of a subject was considered as an insolent invasion of the imperial prerogative, and it became the duty of every Roman general to guard the frontiers entrusted to his care without aspiring to the conquest which might have proved no less fatal to himself than to the vanquished barbarians. And then there's another footnote. Perhaps it would be better if I read all the footnotes afterwards. What do you think, darling? Or shall we take them as they come?
Yes, dear.
Very well. This is footnote 5. Germanicus, Suetonius, Paulinus, and Agriloca. Corbulo was put to death. Oh, poor Corbulo, what a shame. Military merit, it is admirably expressed by Tacitus, was in the strictest sense of the word, well, there are 2 words. And they're both in Latin. I suppose Tacitus wrote in Latin, but it doesn't really matter because it's only a footnote. Are you liking the book, darling?
Very much, dear.
It's very nicely written, but I don't think it's very exciting. I don't think Mr. Latimer has very good taste in books. I asked him to recommend something really interesting to read aloud, and he said the 2 most interesting books he knew were Carlyle's French Revolution and Gibbon's Roman Empire. Fancy, there are 4 volumes of it. 600 pages a volume. We're at page 4 now. Oh, now this is rather interesting. Tacitus observes, well, then Tacitus says something again. I wish he would write in English. Now, where was I? Something about the pearls. Oh, yes. After a war of about 40 years, good gracious, undertaken by the most stupid, maintained by the most dissolute, and...
Go.
Oh, Dominique, in consequence of your obstinate good health, I am going to have to sacrifice, I myself am going to embrace this great opportunity of mental and spiritual development.
Yes, sir. Very good of you, I'm sure, sir.
What sort of illness would you recommend?
How about a nice sprained ankle, sir?
You think that would go well?
It would avoid any interference with the customary habits at mealtime, sir. There's a sort of monotony about bread and milk. No inspiration about it, sir, whether treated as a beverage or as a comestible.
I hadn't thought about the bread and milk.
You'll find that you will have very little else to think about, sir, if you attempt anything stomachic. Of course, you could have the usual nasty cold, sir.
No, not that. I want to be original.
How about xerostomia, sir, spelt with an X?
Is that good?
Joseph tells me that his father has had it for some years.
Oh, then perhaps we oughtn't deprive him of it.
I looked it up in the dictionary one Sunday afternoon, sir. They describe it there as an abnormal dryness of the mouth.
I said I want to be original, Dominique.
Quite so, sir.
It's a difficult problem.
Very difficult, sir. Very naughty, if I may say so.
Perhaps it would be better if we left it to the inspiration of the moment.
Yes, sir.
Leonard! Leonard!
This appears to be the moment, sir.
Yes, but the inspiration tarries. Just go to her ladyship, Dominique, while I think.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just any little delaying observation you could make to her about the weather or the political situation.
Leave it to me, sir.
Just to keep her attention while I assume a recumbent position. Thrown away.
What is it?
Hello, Anne. Is that you?
Yes. What is it?
Oh, nothing. Just a touch of neuralgia.
You frighten me.
Did I? I'm terribly sorry.
Yes, you were groaning, so I didn't know what happened. Is it very bad?
Well, not so bad as it sounded, Anne.
I know how bad it can be. My father has it sometimes. Then I have to send it away. May I?
Anne?
Close your eyes.
Oh, but that's so difficult now.
It will go soon.
Oh, not too soon.
Aren't faces funny when they're upside down?
You have the absurdest little upside-down face that ever I saw, Anne.
Have I?
Is it why do you wear a hat on your chin? Why do you wear a hat?
I was going away.
Without saying goodbye?
I think so.
Oh, Anne.
I should have written
A postcard.
letter.
With many thanks for your kind hospitality, yours sincerely.
Yours very sincerely.
P.S. I shall never see you again.
P.S. I shall never forget.
Ah, but you must forget.
Is it better?
No. It is just the same. It will always be the same. It is unthinkable that anything different should ever happen. In 100 years, we shall still be like this. You'll be a little tired, perhaps. Your fingers will ache. But I shall be lying here quite happy.
You shall have 1 more minute, no more.
Then I shall go straight to the nearest chemist and asked for 3 penny worth of Anne's fingers. What is it?
I thought I heard something. Whispers.
It is, don't look around.
What was it? Was it?
Yes, just an episode in your life, over, buried, forgotten.
It never really happened, did it?
Never. We must have read about it somewhere, or saw it in a play.
Yes, that was it. We were in a box together.
Munching chocolates. Such a child she was. Do you remember how she made us laugh with her little grown-up ways?
Oh, I beg your pardon, sir.
Yes, go on, Anne. I was having neuralgia.
A stubborn complaint, as I have heard, sir.
As Miss Anne is making me well. What did you want, Dominique?
Her ladyship says, will you please excuse her if she is not down tonight?
Shall we excuse her if she's not down tonight?
The fact is, sir, that Joseph is suddenly taken ill, sir, and...
I had never thought of Joseph.
Oh, poor Joseph. What is it?
A trifling affliction of the throat, but necessitating careful attention, her ladyship says.
Well, please tell her ladyship how very much I thank her for looking after Joseph. And tell Joseph how very sorry I am for him.
Yes, sir.
Well, you can't go now, Anne. You will have to stay and chaperone Eustacia and me.
Oh, no.
Must you go?
Yes,
Back to your father.
yes.
Then let us say goodbye now. There is magic in your fingers which goes straight to my head and makes me think ridiculous things. So let us say goodbye now.
Goodbye. I wish you had been my father.
Dominique, how old would you say I was?
More than that, sir.
Oh, yes, I'm afraid I am. And yet I look very young. Sometimes I think you're too young.
Yes, sir.
Miss Anne just asked me to be her father.
Very considerate of her, I'm sure, sir.
Yes. To prevent similar mistakes in the future, I think I shall wear a long white beard.
Yes, sir. Shall I order one from the store, sir?
Please.
Thank you, sir. Is Miss Anne leaving tonight, sir?
Yes. Don't overdo the length, Dominique. I like the crinkly sort.
Yes, sir. One of our most successful weeks on the whole, if I may say so, sir.
Yes. Yes. Well, we must all do what we can, Dominique.
That's the only way, isn't it, sir?
Oh, is this an hotel? My chauffeur said we've had an accident. My wife and I have been delayed on the way and said we could stay here for the night.
The blue room in the east wing is ready.
Yes, Miss Dominique.
The white room in the west wing is ready.
Yes, Miss Dominique.
The procedure will be as before.
Oh, is this Haddon Hotel? My chauffeur said we had an accident, been delayed on the way. He said that we could put up here. Here, Saunders! This can't possibly be the place. Perhaps you could tell me.
Saunders is gone, Leonard.
Gone? What the devil?
Saunders was perfectly correct, my lord. This is a sort of hotel.
He went off as soon as we got out of the car. Leonard, are you sure?
Saunders was perfectly correct, my lord. This is a sort of hotel.
What the devil's happened to him?
Doubtless he has gone round to the garage to get the doors open. Won't your lordship?
You can put us up? Just for tonight. My wife and myself.
If your lordship and your ladyship will please come in.
It's the best we can do, dear. I'm frightfully sorry about it, but after all, what difference?
I dare say it will be quite comfortable. It's only for one night.
Thank you, my lady.
Dashed rummy sort of hotel.
Allow me, my lady.
You can give us something to eat?
Oh, I don't want anything, Leonard.
Nonsense, dear.
Supper will be served in 5 minutes, my lord.
Do you know who we are?
I have not had that pleasure, my lady.
Then why do you call me my lady?
My dear.
Oh, Leonard. Well,
His lordship mentioned that your ladyship was his wife.
yes, that you know him by sight.
Well, my dear, that need not surprise you.
I knew his lordship's rank, my lady, not his lordship's name.
My rank? How the devil?
Supper will be served in 5 minutes, my lady.
Dashed rummy sort of hotel.
I don't like it.
Pooh. Nonsense, dear.
It almost seems as though they had expected us.
My dear child, how could they? In the ordinary way, we should have been at Dover. Why, almost at Calais by this time.
I know. Why aren't we?
The car, Saunders, a fool of a chauffeur, a series of unfortunate accidents.
Do you often have these unfortunate accidents, Leonard?
My dear Anne, you aren't suggesting that I've done this on purpose.
Oh, no, but why tonight, of all nights?
Of course, it's damned annoying missing the boat, but we can get it tomorrow morning. We shall be in Paris tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. But that makes such a difference. I hate every hour we spend together like this in England.
Well, really, I don't see why.
Well, you must take it that I do, Leonard. And I told you from the very first that it was a runaway or nothing with me. There was going to be no intrigue, no lies and pretenses or evasions. And somehow it seems less sordid if we begin our new life together in a new country. Perhaps the French, for what we are doing, is not quite so crude as the English. Yes, I know, it's absurd of me, but there it is.
Oh, well. Do you mind a cigarette?
Why men do always want to smoke, even up to the moment they are going to eat? Can't you just breathe naturally for 5 minutes?
I beg your pardon.
Nerves, I suppose.
Nonsense. My Anne with nerves? Now that I've been eustacia.
Oh, really, Leonard? I think we had better leave your wife out of the conversation.
I beg your pardon.
Perhaps you're right. In a crisis, we are all alike, we women.
No. Damn it. I won't have it. It's blasphemy. Anne, my darling.
I am different, aren't I?
Darling.
I'm not a bit like anybody else. Not even when I'm cross.
Darling.
And you do love me, don't you?
Darling.
Now you're going to smoke. I'll match it for you.
Match, my lady?
Damn that woman.
After all, darling, she thinks I'm your wife, or don't wives light their husband's cigarettes?
I believe you're right, Anne. There is something odd about this place.
Oh, so you feel it too now, huh?
What did she mean by saying she knew my rank, but not my name?
Perhaps she looked inside your hat, like Sherlock Holmes, and saw the embroidered coronet.
How do you mean? There's nothing inside my hat.
No, darling, that was just a joke.
And the table laid. Only one table.
Yes, but it's for 3. They didn't expect us.
3. Yes. It's probably a new idea in hotels. Some new stunt of Harrods, or what's the fellow's name? Lyons. A country house hotel. By the way, Anne, what are you going to drink?
496, my lord. Mr. Lattimore will be down in 2 minutes, my lady. He asks you to forgive him for not being here to receive you.
Mr. Latimer? Who on earth is Mr. Latimer?
Madam, you would wish to be shown to your room, my lady?
No, thank you.
Look here. Is this a hotel, or have we come to a private house by mistake?
A sort of hotel, my lord. I assure your lordship there is no mistake. Thank you, my lady.
Look here. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Why bother? Mr. Latimer will be here in a minute.
Yes, but who the devil's Mr. Latimer?
Oh, Leonard. Do you always arrange something fascinating like this when you elope? I think it's so romantic of you. But don't you think that the mere running away is just enough at first?
My dear girl, what are you driving at? I say again, do you really think that I've arranged all of this?
Well, somebody did.
Wait, stop.
Nope. Okay. Finished, darling?
Yes, thank you, Eustacia.
A little more toast?
No, thank you, Eustacia.
Just a little teeny weeny bit if his Eustacia butters it for him?
No, thank you, I'm really finished.
Another cup of coffee?
No, thank you, Eustacia.
Just a little bit of a cup if his Eustacia pours it out for her own Nicholas and puts the sugar in with her own ickle little fingers?
No more coffee, thank you.
Then he shall sit in a more comfy chair while he smokes his nasty, horrid pipe, which he loves so much better than his Eustacia. He doesn't really love it better.
Of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't.
Then kiss her to show he doesn't.
Yes, baby.
Now, give me your pipe. There. And she doesn't really think it's a nasty, horrid pipe. And she's ever so sorry she said so. Oh!
What is it?
Nicholas never had an apple.
No, oh no thanks, I don't want one.
Oh, but he must have an apple. It's so good for him. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. You must keep the doctor away, darling, else poor Eustacia will be miserable.
I finished my breakfast.
Not even if his Eustacia peels it for him?
No, thank you. I assure you that I have had all I want.
Sure?
quite sure, thank you. Where are you going to sit?
Nicholas, sit there, and Eustacia, sit next to him.
Right. Eustacia,
Yes, darling.
we've been here a week.
Yes, darling. A wonderful, wonderful week. And now today we leave this dear house where we've been so happy together and go out into the world together.
A week, except for the first day. We have had all our meals alone together.
Alone, Nicholas.
4 meals a day, that's 24 meals.
24.
And at every one of those meals, you have asked me at least 4 times to have something more, but I already said that I didn't want anything more. Or, in other words, you have forced me to say no thank you, Eustacia, 96 times when there was absolutely no need for it.
Nicholas.
We're both young. I'm 36. You are
35.
35. And if all goes well, we may look to have 50 years more together, say 2,500 weeks. Multiply that by 100, and we see that in the course of our joint lives, you will, at the present rate, force me to say no thank you, Eustacia, 250,000 times more than is necessary.
Nicholas.
I wonder if we just couldn't come to some arrangement about it, that's all.
Oh, you're cruel. Cruel.
I just wondered if we couldn't come to some arrangement.
Oh, Nicholas, my darling, don't.
There, I'm sorry. Nicholas is sorry. I ought to have said it. Forgive me, darling.
It's only because I love you so much and want you to be well and you must eat.
Yes, Eustacia, I know it is dear of you.
Ask any doctor. He would say you must eat.
Yes, darling.
You must eat.
Yes, darling.
What's a wife for if it isn't to look after her husband when he's ill and see to it that he eats?
All right, dear. We won't say anything more about it.
And when you had that horrid cold and you were so ill, the first day after we came, I did look after you, didn't I? Nicholas, I take care of you and make you well again.
Yeah, you did. Don't think that I'm not grateful. You were very kind. Too kind.
Not too kind, darling. I love looking after you and taking care of you. Leonard was never ill.
Leonard?
My husband.
Oh, I never thought of him as Leonard. I prefer not to think about him. I've never seen him, and I don't want to talk about him.
No, darling, I don't want to either.
We've taken the plunge, and we're not going back on it.
Darling.
As a man of honor, besides, you can't go back now. I mean, I took you away, and well, here we are, and here we are.
Darling, you weren't regretting?
No.
Oh, yes. Yes, you are.
No, Eustacia. Listen, I love not regretting. I've never been so happy. So happy. Eustacia, I've never been so happy. Can't you hear me?
Oh, darling.
Oh, there.
Oh, Nicholas, you frightened me so. Just for a moment, I was afraid you were regretting.
Nope.
Good morning, Dominique.
Good morning, sir. A nice-ish morning it seems to be, sir.
A very nice morning. I have great hopes for the world today.
I am very glad to hear it, sir.
We must all do what we can, Dominique.
That's the only way, isn't it, sir?
Great hopes, great hopes.
The paper, sir.
Thank you. Anyone getting married this morning? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10! 20 happy people.
Let us hope so, sir.
Let us hope so. By the way, how is his lordship this morning?
A little depressed, sir.
Ah?
There seems to have been some misunderstanding about his luggage. A little carelessness on the part of somebody, I imagine, sir.
Dear me, dear me. Didn't it come with him?
I'm afraid not, sir.
Tut, tut. How careless of somebody. Can't we lend him anything?
Joseph offered to lend him a comb, sir. His own comb. A birthday present last year, Joseph tells me. His lordship decided not to avail himself of the offer.
Very generous of Joseph, seeing it was a birthday present.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, Joseph has come down to the last blade of his safety razor this morning. His lordship is rather upset about the whole business, sir.
Well, well, I dare say a little breakfast will do him good.
Yes, sir. Let us hope so, sir. Are you ready for breakfast now, sir?
Ah, good morning, Leonard.
Good Lord! I didn't know you were there.
You were so hungry. I trust you slept well.
Slept well. Of all the damn drafty rooms. Yes. And what about my luggage?
Your luggage?
Yes. Never put on the car. Your fellow, what's his name, Joseph, says.
Oh, dear me. We must inquire into this. Lost your luggage. Oh, dear me. That is a very unfortunate start to a honeymoon. That means bad luck, Leonard. Dominique! What is this about his lordship's luggage?
Yes, sir. Joseph tells me there must have been some misunderstanding about it, sir. A little carelessness on the part of somebody, I imagine, sir.
Dear me, dear me. Didn't it come with him?
I'm afraid not, sir.
Tut, tut. How careless of somebody. Thank you, Dominique.
Thank you, sir.
Lost your luggage. How extraordinarily annoying. My dear Leonard, what is it? Oh, at any rate, I can lend you a handkerchief.
Thank you.
Not at all. That's a very nasty cold you've got. How wise of you to have kept on a dressing gown.
The only thing I can find to put on.
But surely you were traveling in a suit yesterday. I seem to remember a brown suit.
That fool of a man of yours.
Oh, you don't mean to tell me. Dominique, what's this about his lordship's brown suit?
Yes, sir. Owing to a regrettable misunderstanding, sir, his lordship's luggage...
It is, but I'm not talking about his 25 other suits. I mean the nice brown suit he was wearing yesterday. It must be somewhere. I remember noticing it. I remember. Wait, just a moment, Dominique. I remember saying to myself, what a nice brown suit Leonard is wearing. Well, where is it, Dominique?
Yes, sir. I seem to remember the suit to which you are referring. I'm afraid that Joseph had an unfortunate accident with it.
Damned carelessness.
Joseph was bringing back the clothes after brushing them, sir, and happened to have them in his arms while bending over the bath in order to test the temperature of the water for his lordship. A little surprised at the unexpected heat of the water, Joseph relinquished the clothes for a moment and precipitated them into the bath.
Dear me, how extremely careless of Joseph.
Yes, sir, I have already reprimanded him.
That fellow ought to be shot.
You're quite right, Leonard. Dominique, shoot Joseph this morning.
Yes, sir.
And see that his lordship's suit is dried as soon as possible.
Yes, sir. It's being dried now, sir.
But it must be dried thoroughly, Dominique. His lordship has a nasty cold, and a very nasty cold. I'm afraid you are subject to colds, Leonard.
The first one I ever had in my life.
Do you hear that, Dominique? The first one his lordship has ever had in his life.
Yes, sir. If you remember, sir, Mr. Nicholas and one or two other gentlemen who slept there caught a very nasty cold. It almost looks as if there must be something the matter with the room, sir.
Damned draftiest room.
Well, dear me, you should have told me of this before, Dominique. We must have that room seen to at once, and be sure that his lordship has a different room for tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, my dear fellow, I am distressed beyond words. But you know the saying, feed a cold, starve a fever. You must eat, you must eat. We must be firm with this cold. We must suffocate it. How wise of you not to have shaved this morning. The protection offered by the beard, though small, is salutary. But forgive me for forgetting. Perhaps you lost your razor too.
Damned careless fellow.
I must lend you mine.
I say, I wish you would.
I'll get it at once. Meanwhile, eat. No half measures with this cold of yours. My poor fellow. My poor fellow.